Tra la la tra la tra la. In your snide is pleasure, boom shape pleasure. Deep greedy googling about the corner.
If you look at media as a whole, all of these different things, and you add up all the time that we spend on all these different devices, and you look at percentages of that time, the only media that is growing in terms of time is mobile. So TV, radio, everything is shrinking, mobile is growing. So if that's where you want to reach folks, that's where you got to go, is to mobile devices. So where are we in the adoption cycle of this? All technologies go through a very predictable curve in terms of speed of adoption and then penetration of the market. We're actually entering the late innings for both smartphones, not yet for tablets, but getting there. Should we be mobile only? Should we just say the heck with the desktop? Our answer for almost all cases is no. In fact, the way to think about it really is the world is going multi-screen. So the way to think about it is that we should be mobile too. It's a multi-screen world. You've got to find ways of reaching folks through all of them. What about ad spending? Quickly, look at this. There's one thing we can learn from the history of media on this, which is that money follows eyeballs. You want to see where the spending is going? Watch where the behavior is going. Go back to this chart. The eyeballs are moving to mobile, and the money ultimately should follow.
The good news is that we have a new center of attention that we can focus on and that we can do creative work on. It's harder to buy your way in on the menu. You have to earn your place on the mobile by giving the users new value, either utility or entertainment. Or you need to partner with somebody, with Pandora, with Instagram, whoever, but you need to partner in a way that adds value to the experience of the utility and doesn't distract from that one. When you start actively managing the technology maturity risk, what you'll see is you'll actually have a larger number of small initiatives going out. So we're looking at a portfolio of ideas rather than one idea that somebody thinks will fly for at 100% certainty. If you start managing the category risk, that will move us away from what has been our industry's, the creative agency mantra for a long time, which is that you look for big ideas, right? Actually, when you look at any category right now in mobile, there's already a ton of things. So what you're better off is looking for those small moments, small ideas where you can actually be of value to the end user, to the audience, solve a problem.
Personalization has been a trend that's been growing in popularity and getting better and better as a technology over the last 15 years. It's something that's impacting our culture, our fashion, and ultimately our media and technology. And if you think about it, the biggest expression of personalization is your smartphone. If each and every one of you were to pull out your smartphone today and look at the deck, it would tell a story about who you are, what your interests are, what you do on a daily basis, where your priorities lie in terms of how you interact with your apps. And we like to think about the mobility mindset as putting the consumer at the core. And when the consumer is at the core, we're device agnostic. As marketers, we don't want to think about how do we, divvy up between the channels of mobile and web and, this handset and tablet. What we want to think about is how do we reach the consumer first? The consumer is voting with their time. They are there choosing the content and the experience they want, when they want, where they want, and how they want. And creativity is one of the big hurdles that most marketers have, especially the more creative marketers, where they feel like, boy, the screen size is so small, and how could you possibly storytell in a little tiny ad unit? And we're here to say, let's as an industry kind of reframe that whole point of view, right? The idea is that hey, there's only one ad that shows up on the screen. You have 100% share of attention. You're on the most personalized device, and you can leverage the power of data, the power of personalization to make that the most relevant message ever. And it can be both beautiful and effective.
Mobile is the biggest game changer for brands and retailers. So how do you engage shoppers? How do you do business in this new construct? And how are you going to use this technology to reinvigorate your business and engage your consumers? So we think it's all about looking for the moments that matter. You want to use the right tactics, the right media, and the right levers to reach consumers at every point along this loop, to engage them before they go shopping, to give them a reason to go, to drive their behavior in the stores, to get them to purchase, and then loop it back and do it all over again. And that's what we call loyalty. Mobile connection to the physical world and consumer shopping behavior in stores is here, and it's a real thing. The technology is there to support it, and the consumer is demanding it.
To be the next.